Hello and welcome back. We've been in the greenhouse sorting our plants out. Our tulip season's over. They're all sold out, and even the ones we have in our garden around me, they're well past their best and they're dying back. Our buddleias, which are going to be our next plants that go out to sell to the general public, have been in this very greenhouse and it's really brought them on. But we've been sorting through them this morning to try and slow them down and now get them ready and prepared to go out on our stall outside on the road. So our greenhouse is looking a little bit empty from what it was, and I'll just show you. This floor area was completely covered with buddleias, but we've just got a few there which we think we're going to try and just give them a little bit more of a head start. And if you come up here, there's some of our other plants that we got going on. Some Indian bean trees. I don't know if we can plant one out in our own garden, but people do seem to buy them. I don't know much about them, but I don't know whether they are an indoor plant or people have had success in the garden. But in any case, they've come up and they're doing very well. Some more of the wife's plants, and indeed some more buddleias down there, just giving them a little bit more of a head start. And the dreaded aloe vera, not looking at its best, but that's just speared the wife a couple times this morning, so she's not too happy, so I've been lucky to save that from the compost heap. We've got a few plants here that have got to be split down. Some of them are growing as a multiple in pots, which we've got to break down, and others we just want to have a little trim up and a little clean up. And we've got some laurel in the back there which we want to yet again split out of like a pot. We've got multiple plants in one pot, so we're going to split them down. So there's a little bit of work going on here at the moment. So looking across this lawn area that I've just reseeded only a week ago, I now have the first glimmers of grass coming through, and it's looking patchy, but hopefully that will thicken up. I've had a big problem with sparrows. Every morning I come down, I've got a flock of about 20 or 30 of them pretty much helping themselves to the grass seeds. If I get a bit closer, you might just be able to see those very, very faint green stringy bits of grass starting to grow through. As for the vegetable plot, I think I'm going to have to water this again tonight because it's beginning to look quite dry. Still no sign of anything or beginning to poke through yet. My expectations probably a little bit high. It's a bit early considering it's only been in the ground a week. So here's all our buddleias, and there's a good few there to sort through. Various colours from white, blue, dark night, which is like a dark purple, lighter purples, reds, pinks. So we've got to sort through those and get them ready to go out on the stall. And two little sycamore saplings have come up in a pot which I didn't think they would survive, but they have, and I'm going to try and put those out. People do like to buy plants that they can put out as in like trees for the environmental reasons, so perhaps somebody might be interested in those. Our four varieties of mint are doing really well here. They're getting the sun. We're keeping them in pots because by all accounts, if they escape from a pot, they will run riot and take over the garden. So this is in a hopeful effort that we don't encounter that problem. But yeah, they're beginning to really shoot up, and we've been sampling the leaves this morning to see how strong the actual different plants, their actual scent and smell is. Our strawberries have got flowers, and they're already trying to produce strawberries. I've decided to let any runners that are beginning to throw just go for a little while longer to take a bit of nourishment from the older plants before I take them and put them in the ground. As I said, you can clearly see the tulips have had their day and they're looking pretty poor there now. But it was a spectacular year for them and they were throwing a lot of really beautiful colours. Our actual black currants are doing very well, but in the spirit of us letting this just do its own thing here, it's starting to get a little bit like it will possibly overrun them, so it's looking like I will have to do a very small bit of management and weeding to take out some of these evasive plants that are going to possibly overrun these small black currants. Something I didn't want to do in this area, but it's looking like I possibly will have to. Both these oak trees came from the same place and were planted at the same time, and you can see the difference in one versus the other. No explanation for that. I couldn't even begin to try. I've got the two. If one should fail, I've got the other one. These will be planted on my property. It's kind of a legacy thing I want to leave behind. I don't know. I've just got this burning desire to leave, you know, an oak tree behind. I obviously won't get to see this get to its full potential or even half its potential, but yeah, I just want these to go on. So yeah, I'm quite protective of these and I'm looking after them. But that will bring me on to my next thing I'm going to talk about. We did actually collect some acorns and try and put them in pots, and we thought they'd actually rotted out and weren't successful, so I just tipped out the remnants of the soil and compost in amongst our natural area. But lo and behold, that you know, as things in all things nature, you know, you've got no guarantees. You know, we've actually got an oak tree trying to push up through, and I'm in a bit of a difficult situation because I don't know what to do. Let it go where it is and just hope and see, or try to rescue it, put it into a pot and select an area for it, which I think it would do better. Right, if you push your way past this bigger blackcurrant, I'll do that. There. You can see a baby oak tree. Now that has obviously survived what we thought were all rotted ones, and it has now come up. It's obviously not going to survive, or I wouldn't think it would, for very long, because when these all get their leaves, it's going to block out all light to it. So I don't know whether to chance it or remove it and put it in a pot. But that's one of the little things I'm pondering on today, and I'll come back to you with a decision on that. But as you can see, this area does get pretty light deprived when these plants here all get their leaves. Now this rhododendron, when we planted it, considering they're a plant most people fight to control, did actually look like it was dying on us. But after a bit of loving care, it is actually thriving now. And when I say thriving, in true rhododendron fashion, it's exploding upwards and outwards. It's manageable at the moment, but there won't be long before I will have to start thinking about getting this one under control as well. You clearly see there, I've mowed the lawn from when I last showed you my garden, but not too aggressively. And now I'm in a period of letting it regrow out, and you can see the flowers coming through again. I will probably let this go till possibly a couple months. I like to do it every couple months. I don't like to sculpt a lawn. I don't see there being any reason to have a lawn if you can't have, or give the chance for the flowers and the actual wildlife to utilise it as well. Already a lot of the grasses have seeds. You know, a lot of people with their manicured lawns may be in absolute horror what I've done here, but yeah, it's nice to see that. And you know, obviously I'm not going to let this just go totally out of control, but I do give it periods of time, like I say, where I will let everything literally go, you know, totally to nature, and then obviously cut it back and let it go again. As you can see, the dandelions with their actual seeds, a lot of them have already left the stalk, so you know, that's new plants out there that will potentially grow. But coming down through to our wild area, and look at the size of that dock leaf. Those chickens would love to get hold of that. Look at the size of that. Coming down here, you can see our raspberry bush is doing very well, and it's throwing up everywhere here, and so is our actual blackberry bush. It's throwing up new runners everywhere. So this gets the sun in the late afternoon, so yeah, so you know, hopefully we will get a good crop this year from these. Well, I did try to save this rhubarb, but it looks like something's tried to make a meal of it, or has successfully made a meal of it. I don't know if it will survive it, but you know, I just got to put some faith in nature and see if it comes back. Well, that was just a quick little whistle-stop tour of our garden and what's actually happening with it at the moment. Like I say, it's work in progress and there's a lot to be done here, and we're getting ready for the early summer or midsummer season in the garden. So yeah, I'll check in with you and let you see what's going on at a later date so you can see how things are progressing.